Welcome to the NMAA Podcast, the best basketball league in Orlando and the longest running Muslim sports league in America. Based out of sunny Orlando in Florida, featuring weekly game previews, player stats, heated rivalries, and guest stars. Now, your hosts, Waaris here, the Comish, Omer Zahid, the Don, Dev Lackman. Take it away, fellas.
Hey, what's going on, NMAA family? Man, I'm back again hosting. Waaris is still out on baby duty. Waaris is a girl dad now, man. It's crazy to think so, but congratulations to Waaris. We hope you get your sleep. I heard he's changing diapers. Amazing stuff. But yeah, man, Waaris is not here today. I'll be hosting, and I've got Sidd, one of my favorite guys in the league here, and we're hosting together for the very first time. Me and Sidd. How you doing tonight, Sidd?
Doing pretty good. You mentioned Waaris. I hope that first transition when you have a newborn is always hard, and so he's dropping everything he possibly can to make sure he takes care of his daughter, and obviously that's priority number one. I know that with my own. I have 2 kids, and finally a girl dad myself, and it's a blessing to have.
Love it, man. I love it. Hey, the most tired I've ever been in my life, like literally the most exhausted I've ever been, was after the birth of my first kid. I remember being in the hospital, and for whatever reason, like the kids always come out like in the middle of the night. Like I don't know of anybody that said, yeah, he came out at like 2 p.m. Mine have always come like 2 a.m., 4 a.m. And so you're staying up. The chairs, it's not even like beds, the chairs that you have to sleep on, or you can't sleep on it. You're hearing the monitors, and the nurse are coming in and checking in, and you're there for like, especially if your wife had a C-section, you're there for a few days. Oh man, I remember my first kid, I was so tired. You were there for 4 days?
Yes, I was. But don't let your wife hear that, man. Your wife hears you complaining about the bed. She might not be too happy.
I had the nurse coming in and checking on me, man. I was just dead on the chair.
I told Waaris, that was the first thing I think I told Waaris. He was just like, what should I expect? I was like, look, dude, you're a big fella. That twin bed that they put you on, that little cot, you're going to have a real bad time. Just tell you right now.
Nah, they're not designed for somebody Waaris' size, man. So, yeah, man. Good stuff, though. Congratulations to Waaris, man. We got a packed show for you guys today here. So we're gonna jump in. We'll go through our announcements, and then we'll give you guys a recap of our games last week, the final week of the regular season where every team played. And then we've got an interesting mid segment for you guys. We're going to go through a season recap and some interesting tidbits from the regular season. We've got our award winners. We'll go through the nominees and the winners of the actual awards. So that's always going to be fun. And then we'll talk about the first round of the playoffs. So we got the play-in and the playoffs this Sunday, and exciting times, man. So packed show for you guys. And Sidd, let's jump right into it.
Let's get it.
Okay, so for the announcements, let me go ahead and share my screen here.
That's why I love hosting with you, man. It's always a PowerPoint.
Yes, sir, man. I spend way too much time doing this kind of stuff, man. OCD, man. I'm telling you, man.
Right? Like, people always ask, like, oh, why are the coaches so invested? Why do they get mad? Well, we're recording this at midnight. It's 12:04 a.m. when we just started this, right?
Yep. This is what we do, man. We got to get Ozzy to pay us or something, bro.
Players need to pay us.
For real.
Think about it this way. It's 12:04 a.m. right now. We're recording. Kareem works a full-time job, and he has a PowerPoint ready just for this podcast.
Yes, sir, bro. I have a PowerPoint that I need to actually update for tomorrow morning's meeting at work, but that's another story. So, anyhow, man. So last time I was on here, we talked about how there's going to be a second iteration of our 3-on-3 summer tournament. The news here is that the signups are opening June 8th. So right around the corner here, another week or so, we're going to be able to open up signups for this. And like we talked about last time, there's going to be 3 different divisions. We got your pro, semi-pro, 35 and up. So that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. The tournament's going to be on August 2nd, just a one-day tournament, at the same gym as always. And I'm looking forward to this one, man. The second note that we want to point out here is playoffs obviously are Sunday, but the play-in winner. So the play-in is also happening on Sunday, and the winners are playing again. So the very first games are going to be early Sunday morning, probably a 9:15 tip. So be ready for that. Gym will probably open at 9 a.m. So make sure you get there early because they're tipping early. And if your team wins, you're gonna play the third game. So it's gonna be the play-ins, and then the other first round matchups, and then your matchup again, right? So you'll sit out probably however long it takes for a game to finish. So make sure you bring your electrolytes and your bananas and whatever you need to stay fresh to play your actual first round of the playoffs. Anything I missed here, Sid?
No, I think, hit it on the head. Players, please bring your massage guns, bring whatever you need, something to keep your legs warm. Oftentimes what we see are the play-in winners start to cramp up in the second half of that game. And oftentimes it looks like the play-in team might win that game and then they might gas out, right? So please, just for any team winning or planning to win, make sure you're prepped. And then last thing is, teams will be eliminated regardless, either from the play-in or first round matchups. Please give your jerseys back to your coaches. I think
thank you. Big point there.
Not mentioned enough. You do not go home with the jerseys. It is a $50 fee if you forget and you don't get to join back NMAA unless you pay it. Please give your coaches your jerseys.
Good shout. Appreciate that, Sid. Okay, man. Let's jump right into these recaps from last week. Our first game of the day was Al Mukhtar versus Commissars, and Commissars pulled this one out 60-51, a 9-point win. And Commissars got the return of Raj Sheikh. I think he had missed 2 or 3 games going into this, but Commissars were undefeated in his absence, and Tristan stepped up in a big way in Rod's absence. So just real quick, going through the team stats on Commissar's side, Rod comes back in and leads the team in scoring, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, 4 threes. He didn't skip a beat, man. This guy came back from Pakistan, man, coming back from overseas. He was out there for a number of weeks, and bro, sometimes like when you're away from the game, right? Like that's when you play your best sometimes, right? At least I've had experiences like that where I'll go to like Egypt for 2-3 months in the summer, and I'll come back and I'll go to LA Fitness and bro, like the rim is like this big. I'm just shooting from anywhere and it's going in. I love that.
Not sure that he wasn't hooping though. From what I was told, he went over there also for basketball reasons.
Do they have, bro? I don't want to ask if they have basketball hoops there, but who plays basketball in Pakistan, man?
I think Rod. I don't know, so I don't want to comment, but I do think he's trying to get an opportunity over there.
Oh heck yeah!
If he was able to, hats off to him.
Hey.
But I don't think he was not practicing.
Hey, I wouldn't put it past him, man. The guy, like I said, man, he's so aggressive, and he's just got a hunger, for scoring. So Welcome back, Rod. Way to lead your team. JP, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals. Yusuf, I think his best game of the season, 10 points, 5 rebounds. He's been solid defensively all season. And today, I think, in this game, 5 field goals made. I think that's the most he's ever, actually seen the ball go through the hoop in any game this season. And what better timing than the last game of the season to do that. That said, a little quiet game for at least his standards this season. 8 points, 7 rebounds. Amir, 7 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. And then Tristan with only 3 points, and they still win this game. So Commissars showing, man, that they can, early on in the season, they can win by outscoring teams. Later on in the season, they were locking teams down. They were winning without Rod. So this is, it says a lot about, the types of games that Commissars can win. On Mukhtar's side, Shawan led the way for 17 points. That might be his season high, 4 steals. So good game there from Shawan. Weezy, 15 point, 10 rebound, double-double. Waaris, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Sidd, I heard he had like all 11 of those like in the first couple minutes of the first quarter.
He was going crazy, man. Like, I can help with the recap. I was doing clock. I'll let you go through the rest, but
Nah, jump right ahead, man.
Waaris. What happened?
Jump right ahead, man.
Jump right. Let me tell you, this guy he did everything right. I don't feel like he made a mistake. He was in the spots that he needed to be in. You know, there's always those players where you're just like, oh, they're leaving you open, but like they'll stand at the 3-point line. He did not do that. He knew that if Weezy was driving, and Amir would come over to help because Amir tried to guard him, was guarding Waaris. Waaris waited in dunker spot. Weezy made the right pass, and Waaris finished those layups, right? So confidence to take the layups. I loved it. And then he actually hit a 3 ball, which I need to check if Waaris has hit a 3 this season. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, no. But
that's
a thing between those two, man.
Always have this like 3-point battle, and Waaris does have one right now, right? And it was on the highlight tape. It looked good. I was so proud watching him. I think, you know, I was rooting for Mukhtar to lose because I needed them to lose to have a chance at the play-in. And I just found myself rooting for Waaris while the game was happening because he was in all of the right spots. I think, you know, from watching this game, I thought Mukhtar started off extremely well, sharing the ball, and then it got into like a lot of ISO ball more towards the end. I thought Waaris easily this game, based on the opportunities that still existed, he could have scored anywhere between close to 15 to 20. He was still open throughout the game.
That's crazy.
Didn't change, but the passes to him got less, I felt like.
Gotcha.
So, you know, that kind of didn't help. Now, by all means, Weezy, I thought, had a decent game. He could have probably shot maybe a little bit better, but Commissars put in the effort to make sure that they sent multiple bodies at him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought he played well in terms of making the right decision to get his teammates set up, and that's where you see Shawan with 17, right? Like, Weezy's a direct result. I know his assist says 2. He definitely had more assists watching this game, making sure that his team was set up and in the right positions to catch and shoot the ball. On the Commissar side, you know, Tristan did show up late, so I will say that. And then when you show up late and you don't get to warm up, you try to warm up in game. It's always difficult. Right?
Yeah.
He came in the game. I think he airballed one, got too short on another one, then switched one, and then went back to like missing again. But Commissars overall, they've been executing really well, right? Always down, I guess, one of their star players, but they've kind of figured out that to gel. I know you mentioned Asad had a quiet 8 points. I could tell you from in the game, it was not quiet. Like, he very much hit and took all the shots, and very unselfish player. Like, I loved watching him play. Some of JP points came from him, like penetrating and doing dump offs. I think that's where you see like he had 4 assists, and then Amir had 6. Just well executed offensive unit. And then
they're looking good, man. Yeah, Commissars are looking sharp, man. And I think top to bottom, they're all contributing, right? You know, game in, game out, it's, you know, you might have a different leading scorer. You know, you've got guys hitting big shots. You don't know who it is that's going to hit a big shot for them. So Commissars looking dangerous. Mukhtar kind of looking beat up, man. I know Ahmed Fellow. Yeah, I saw him on the sideline, not playing. He told me his knees bother him, so that sucks, man. I hope he's good to go for the playoffs. Ahmed Ashadi wasn't playing either, yeah, a little shorthanded on Sunday.
Julian was not here also.
And Julian wasn't there. That's a big one.
Call out. Their second round pick wasn't there, and they only lost.
Yeah.
So the one thing I'll give Mukhtar, right, is no matter how many players they're down, because they've been down players the whole season, they fight, man. They really do fight. They battle till the end. They got no quit in them, and I love that about this team. They don't care about who's missing. With Sam, their number 1 overall pick were missing, and they were losing games by like 1 or 2 points, right? Like no game for them in a game where they've been getting blown out. And so it shows you like, hey, they can battle through adversity, and
I love that.
They're still a tough team.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, Commissars, pulled away in the fourth quarter. It's not like, Mukhtar wasn't there. I mean, they were within striking distance, and says a lot about that team too. Regardless of who's playing, next man up mentality, and they'll fight you to the end. All right. moving on, Showtime versus Al-Aqsa. Man, what a low-scoring game here. Both teams in the 40-point club, but it was a defensive just slugfest here. 48-44 in Aqsa's favor. Man, Aqsa continues their winning ways. 8-1 to finish the season. And in this game, they're missing Q. So this is a big miss for them. But, kind of the same thing here. They've missed guys like, Q and Daniel and some other guys throughout the season. And they've just found ways to win games here. Ian with a big double-double here. He's been doing that. He's been having a great season, exploding in a big way. Leading his team, 14 points, 17 rebounds. Manny, 11 points, 6 assists, 7 steals. This guy, man, it's absurd how great he is at stealing here, man. Like, these steal numbers are stupid. And we're not even that good at taking, stats for steals and blocks. So, like, the 7 might actually, be 9.
Correct.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then Prince and Bilal and Muhammad kind of chipping in there. And that's kind of just what they do. Top to bottom here, everybody's, doing something on that team.
That might be Muhammad's best rebounding game. 10 rebounds. I could be wrong, but I feel like, he hasn't been playing himself, to be fair. He's definitely given Ian the spotlight. But that's a great sign. He's obviously very capable.
Yeah.
Just glad to see it.
Yeah. I mean, he's got guys that are playing his position, Ian, and, you got another bruiser and Daniel, and Muhammad's a big guy himself. And, he's done a great job coaching that team and, sacrificing his playing time and whatnot, and just maximizing his roster. On Showtime's end, Adam, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals. Carlos, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 steals, 5 threes. Carlos has been shooting the heck out of the ball this season, man. Yeah,
some of his threes were from deep too. Like I think I told him, like, one of his threes was close to the white line.
Ooh, buddy. Every time I look back and I saw him shooting, it was always going in, man. So yeah, Carlos is locked in this season. Nick, a quiet game from Nick, 5 points, Jeffrey 4. And Garfield went scoreless in this game. 0 points, 11 rebounds, 2 steals. But, man, that's got to be the story there, man. Aqsa's defense is on another level. And for them to slow down one of the better players this season, one of the breakout players this season in Garfield, and hold them to 0 points, he's arguably the second most important player on Showtime, right after Adam. And I think seeing the 0 there is tough.
And I've been trying to tell people this about Aqsa, right? Like, man, their defense is legit, and statistically, it's proven. I'm looking at it now. Aqsa points allowed for 9 games, 463 points. There is not a single other team in the 400s.
400s, yeah.
Right? The next team after 463 is 520. Which is
holy God!
That is a whole game difference in terms of points, right?
Yeah,
you're talking about a whole different game,
bro.
And chances are they might be a game in a first quarter, right,
bro?
In terms of defensive effort, that's phenomenal, and I think they capitalize on a game plan of, okay, we're going to take this player completely out the game and see how he does, and I'll give Ian that level of credit. He has been the bruiser and the enforcer down low, right? Like, Garfield makes a living in the paint, right? And I think he took that away. Now, this game in general was pretty ugly in the beginning, right? I will say it was definitely very one-sided. When I looked up, and I think the game sheet also had it pretty much like that too. When I looked up in the first quarter, it was like 17-5. I think it was like 20-5 at one point. And then, Adam Dorsey just started turning on the Jets. Carlos Roman started hitting threes. They started making a comeback. And the one benefit that I saw at Showtime was, hey, we're not going to go away. And they started playing just as gritty defense as Aqsa did. I mean, they kept Aqsa to 48 points, right? So if you start looking in the second half, right? Outside of that first half, they started battling, right? 12 points to 10. So you lost by 2. Then you won the third quarter by 1. And then blew it open in the fourth, right? So that first quarter, definitively hurt them.
Yeah.
But sometimes, and I remember when I played Uxa, right? It's that reality physicality check, right? Like it's a very physical team. They're coming after you.
For
So
sure.
like that first quarter, it hurts. And now you have to try to come back from that, like those mistakes that you then made and then try to, see what you have left in the gas tank. And Showtime, they nearly pulled it off. I think at one point it was 44-45 and Showtime had the ability to actually take the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they missed the shot, and then I can't remember who shot the free throws, but essentially, it just came down to free throws at the end, and Uxa put it away. But this game was like 44-45. Showtime definitively down 15, nearly came back and won the game, and they easily could have.
Oh, damn. That's big. That's big. So, yeah, man, I think we got to keep an eye on these two teams here, man, come the playoff time. Moving on here, Al-Qamar versus Nasr. We've got a 67-57 win for Al-Qamar. Their final game of the season, they finally get a win. BG leading the way for them with 24 points. And finally, they got Zaid. After their trade for Zaid, I feel like they traded for him a month ago, and this is his first time playing for them.
Yeah.
So he's finally showed up, man.
Showed up in a big way too, right? I think all the threes that he hit, timely threes, man. Like you'd see Nasser kind of make a run. Qamar pretty much dominated this game from start to finish. But you would kind of see, a run happening, about to like bust open for Nasser. And there it is, Zaid 3, top of the key, Zaid corner 3, splash.
And then his release is so quick too. Oh man.
And not afraid to shoot. I think that's the one thing I love about him. If you're running at me, you're too late. It's up. And I like
man, that's big, man. He definitely 4 threes. Yeah, 4 threes from Zaid in his debut game. I think he fits well. Like I was actually very excited to see Al-Qamar like in this outfit here, with Zaid on their in their lineup. And hey, 14 points out of Tariq, 15 out of Zaid, 24 out of BG. They win by 10 against a good defensive team in Al-Nasr there. So good performance from Al-Qamar, and that's exactly what they needed to go into their playing game. And I think they're going in with confidence and belief now that they've got Zaid and they've seen what they can do with them. On Nasr's end, Derek led the way with 14 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Then Omar Uthman, 12 points, 24 rebounds. I think he's had. We'll talk about this, man, later in the second segment. His rebounding's been absurd this season. I think this is like his 3rd or 4th 20 rebound game. Crazy. 24 rebounds is absurd there. But not much from everybody else on the team. Ish with 9, Wasim with 8 and 7. Said with 6. Ozzy hit 2 threes. But yeah, not just not enough to outscore Al-Qamar here, man. So yeah, that's not the way that Ozzy wanted to finish the season, but we'll see how they respond to that going into the play-in. Any last comments on this one?
No, I mean, score kind of indicates how the game went. I think I liked what I saw out of Nasr more towards the beginning of the season than I do right now. I'm seeing a lot of like more one-on-one ISO basketball, not trusting your teammates. They're often making the one pass shot up type of play as opposed to like, hey, let's just move the ball around and kind of see where it goes. A lot of times, and that often happens when a player, and this is actually multiple players on their team, so it's not just, one individual player call out, but a player is just like, oh yeah, I passed the ball, coach. No, you tried to set something up, but you don't have to be the one to set the play up, right? Like, just let it organically happen. I think too many times we try to force things, and that's kind of what I've been seeing out of Nasr the past 2 games, where they're forcing the issue rather than just letting the game come to them, right? And they have a great team. Derek's a great defender. Wasim's a great defender. Ish has shown that he can put up 20. Omar Uthman, obviously a monster big. Said can shoot. Ozzy obviously can hit threes. Obeida's great from the mid-range. So very capable team. I just think right now they're just missing the ball movement. They get the ball movement back. I think they can be a very scary, first round matchup.
I think that's fair, man. Yeah, when you see that ball kind of zipping around, that's when they look most dangerous. I think that's when any team is going to look most dangerous. But yeah, like when it doesn't, that's when it, it kind of stutters for them a little bit, and then they just kind of stall out on offense.
Yeah, and this is not a knock on like any individual player, right? But you look at Nasser's roster, right? Do you feel like there's someone on this team that will give you 30? Not you specifically, but 18, 30 points, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I look at that, and my answer is like, there's potential. I'm not saying that there isn't potential. Every person can have a great day, but chances are more unlikely. So like, I don't understand the ISO ball. Like, you're ISOing and working so hard for 2 points. Make your life easy. Move the ball around. It'll probably come right back to you, right? You'll probably get an easier shot. Instead, I'm seeing people do like spin moves, tween, trying to drive on 3 people, throw it up.
And try to finish over, 3 people. Right. Yeah.
Part of the reason Omar has 24 rebounds, I'll probably say most of them are offensive.
Yeah.
Having to just, you're tiring your big man out because you're throwing up something, hoping for a prayer that he catches it and puts it back up.
Yep.
Their offensive system can definitely be better. And it has been better this season. Like, I've seen Nasser at a point this season where I'm just like, they're playing great team basketball, and I think they just got to get back to it.
Yep. No, I'm with you there. All right. Muttaqin versus 99ers. My guys versus Ramzi's team. Ramzi wasn't there. I think he was out enjoying a family vacation. And I think I think he might have enjoyed his family vacation more than Sunday morning there.
I don't know. I don't know if you know this. Ramsey was on FaceTime the whole game.
Are you serious? Who was FaceTiming?
He was texting me separately to make sure that Al-Shari was on FaceTime with him.
Oh, so that's why Ahmed was standing there the whole time. I'm like, yo, what are you still doing here?
Ramsey will never miss a beat, man. I give credit to him. He's never going to miss a beat.
I love that. I love that, though, about Ramsey, man. But, it was, I'm not going to lie, man. I think this scoreline, they didn't really tell the story. I think 99ers were in the game. They had a 10-0 run in the fourth quarter where they brought it to, I think it was like a 5-point game. I mean, to be fair, like we had a lead in the double digits, right? But their 10-0 run in the fourth quarter, and now it's like a freaking 4, 5, 6-point game, whatever it was. It was like, all right, hey, like now we actually got to close this game out. Now anybody can win if we're going to continue, this scoring route or turnovers and whatnot. We can legitimately, fumble this game away to 99ers, and that would have absolutely killed me, for the last game of the regular season, before the playoffs there. So real quick, going through our team stats: Isaiah 26 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 blocks, and a steal. Isaiah, man, just on an absolute heater to finish the season, both in the scoring, rebounding departments, and especially in blocks, man. Like he's just been, he's been playing out of his mind, honestly. Playing really well. Brian, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. Again, dishing the ball out. Christian, 11 points, 5 rebounds. Yassine with a double-double, 10 points, 13 rebounds. And not too much other than that. I had a donut. I didn't have a good game for myself. I had a terrible warm-up, and it kind of spilled into the game. And luckily, the guys were able to pull through. 99ers, Rodney, I think his second game with 99ers, 17 points, 5 rebounds. Steve, man, 12 threes. And all of his points came from, 12 threes, 12 points off of 4 threes. All of his points came off of those. And he was putting them up, man. He was feeling himself. Nader came back from injury, and he looked pretty decent, 10 points from him. And then Waaris came back after, his baby leave. And, he was telling me, he was like, I kind of wish I didn't come back because I ruined my stats and my chances for most improved or whatever it was that he was going for. But 2 points, 10 rebounds from him, 2 assists, 2 blocks. In what was a quiet game from him. He's had a great season, honestly. And so, yeah, I get his frustration there. He looked tired too, man. So, yeah, man.
I try to tell people, right? Like, you really don't understand it when you got to wake up and go hoop at, what was this, 10 o'clock game, 10:15 game, and you had a crying baby the whole night, it hits you a little different, right?
Yeah. Especially if it's brand new too, man. Like, you're just not used to that. Yeah.
But, shout out to Mutakin, right? Since the trade, 4-0, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Since the trade, so Christian Solis has been huge and obviously a great plug-in piece to your team. But I think, you remember when, what was it, 1 and 2? You guys were, I don't think you were 0 and 3, but it was
1 and 2. Felt like we were 0 and 3.
It felt like you were 0 and 3. And I think everyone on the podcast, including myself, right, kept on talking about, hey, Mutakin this, Mutakin that, right? In terms of, they're not scoring enough. And I kept on telling you, it's like, look, Isaiah's scoring 14, 15 right now, but he's going to hit the gear where it's 20 plus.
I remember, I vividly remember you saying that, like, hey, listen, like, he hasn't started yet.
Correct. And once he's gotten going, you have not lost.
Yeah.
You went from 1 and 2 to 6 and 3 right now. I think you're third seed. And Isaiah's one of my guys. I played with him the previous semi-pro season. Absolutely loved having him. And part of that is I just feel like on the break, he's unstoppable. He's just a force to be reckoned with. I think oftentimes people mistake me yelling at Isaiah on the court as like, I'm trash talking him or like hating on him. No, it's really to rile him up, to get him going, because I just have so much faith in him as a player.
Yeah.
And then you start seeing 6 threes. It's just like, there ain't nothing you're going to do to stop him, because you step up too much. Now he got you in the paint, and then he's going to do a famous dunk. I think he's been spectacular.
He's been great, man.
A large part for your success.
For real. No, that's a great shout out to Zay, man, and happy to have him for the first time ever in NMAA, and he's been a joy to have. And
easy teammate too, man, because he always has a joke to crack.
No, there's a guy, man. I love Zay. So 64-48 win for Mutakin over 99ers, and then the last game of the weekend, late game.
Final playoff spot.
And this was a heck of a game. I wish I could have stayed for this one, man. But I mean, right off from the jump, Sid, it felt like a playoff game, man. And in the level of shot making, just difficult shot making from both teams, whether it was Akbar or Chavis or Omar, and it was just back to back to back, and both teams were playing man defenses, and you guys were running, plays or off-ball screens to get your guys open, and then even, just breaking guys down off the dribble one-on-one to finish, tough finishes in the paint or tough step back, 3-pointers, for Akbar and Chavis. It was just fun, man. I only watched like the first quarter and a half. But Malik, man, 76-73. I watched the video on this one, and I'll let you speak to this one, man. But you had this one. Malik ended up pulling through and pulling away here at the end. What happened in your mind here?
I mean, we lost in very Nars-like fashion this season, right? But I wasn't upset about it. I thought what I loved from my team was that we battled. We put everything we had, and I saw a lot of positives, man. Like Malik, just for everyone, they're a very deep team. You have Marcus Ford, Chavis, Omar Arroyo, Tron, Byron, Debo. I mean, you have a loaded team, right?
Yep.
And a team very worthy of champion contention, I feel like, even at 6 seed, right? I don't think anyone is falling asleep. I mean, it's your first round matchup. I don't think anyone is falling asleep on Malik, right? But I try to tell my team, and just to recap the game, it's those very small but pivotal mistakes that can cost you, right? In this game in particular, I'm pretty sure we led 46 out of 48 minutes. I'll be honest with you. I mean, there were points in the game we had an 8-point lead. And when I tried to relate to my team, right, and this is just in general, sometimes when you have that 8-point lead, that next offensive possession is so important, because just kill them. Take the head off the snake. You get that double digit, it feels a lot better than 8, right? For both teams. It feels better for the team that's winning, and for the team that's losing, it's like, I got to make like a 10 or 12-point comeback. It changes the mindset a little bit, and we never capitalized on that. That was one. And then, on their own, Omar Arroyo had himself a fourth quarter. I think he has 12 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. I'll say 8 of them.
It looked like 8 of them. Yeah, came in the fourth.
He made some bad. Our team made some bad defensive plays on him where he made us pay for that. And he had a very clutch 3. I think Alex hit a layup when we were up 2 with like a minute and a half left. And he went on the other end, ran a pick and roll on Alex McCord. And then Byron drove. Alex came to help.
And he sprayed it. Yeah, he sprayed it out. Yep.
Gave it right back to Omar. Omar hit it and then kind of
switch
the lead, right? Mm-hmm. And like I said, it doesn't matter how many minutes you dominate a game. You take that lead and they were up by 1.
That was it. Yeah.
It kind of changed momentum a little bit. I probably could have called the timeout, but I thought based on how the offensive flow was going to the game, it looked like my team had it. Like, okay, we're going to go down the other end and we have another opportunity to score. Everything looked and set up great. Just didn't capitalize. And then they went down and scored some free throws. So I know definitely was a tough one to lose because now we're in the play-in. But heads up high because I thought we did everything right. It just some unfortunate circumstances happened at the end. But we have to learn to execute and win these matchups, right? Because
for sure, man.
Bulk of the game.
You can do all the hard work, right, through freaking 44 minutes, and if your last 4 minutes are not good, not clean, you know that undoes all that work, especially in this league. But
it's a hats off to exactly what you said, right? Marcus Ford had himself a game. Like Chavis, I mean, he had 5-3. I'll be honest with you, outside the free throws, I think Chavis only missed 1 shot.
Yo, Chavis is on another level right now, man. He's in form right now. He's playing confident. He's hitting his threes. He had a few quiet games early on in the season, but he's been up there in the scoring column, man, and he's playing with a ton of just like energy. Man, he's splashing those threes. He's celebrating, running up the court, and now he's looking good. Marcus was again, man, just the level of shot making that I saw in just a quarter and a half that I watched was unbelievable. Honestly, both teams did not look like their records. So
put it into perspective, of what the shot making looked like. There was a play where AK came down, I think in the third quarter. He probably took like 2 steps in from half court and pulled it. And I was just like, it's AK. I'm not gonna say nothing. And I looked up and it went in, and I was like, good thing I didn't say anything. Like. That was the type of shots that were going, and it's crazy because I was looking at my team in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and I'm like, oh my God, we are making some ridiculous shots.
And you rarely see Akbar celebrate after a 3. Man, I think after that 3 that you're talking about, he turns around, he's yelling up the court. I'm like, I've never seen Akbar like that.
He was hyped, but I loved it. I loved it,
man.
Yeah,
it was great.
A lot of energy, and then you go back down the court, and then Chavis goes and pulls a 3, right?
Yep, right back.
So much tough shot making this whole game, and it had a great playoff feel to it.
Loved it, man. Yep. 26 from Marcus, 23 from Chavis, 12 from Omar, like we talked about. Just real quick, just going through these shout outs. Omar with
Byron, by the way, the 7 rebounds, they were very critical offensive boards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Played a very big hand in them winning, and I think it's undermined, but he definitely was huge because I think he had maybe like 3 offensive rebounds in the fourth.
Yep. Those plays can be the difference, man. I've said that countless times on podcasts and in my team chats and everything. But yeah, so 28 from Omar, Akbar with 27 and 7 threes, and then Alex with 14 rebounds, Jamal with 10. All in all, great game, high scoring game, entertaining game, and a lot was on the line in this game. And I wish, oh man, I'm not going to say anything because even if you wanted, we would have played you guys. It's just, it sucks to be the 3 seed and then having to play like a fake, 6 seed. Like these got you two or, not real, I don't know, whatever seeds that you guys are, man.
We played down this season, both teams.
Yeah. Anyhow, all right, man. Yeah, fun slate of games there. That's it for the recap. Short break, and we're going to jump right back into this fun segment.
You're listening to the NMAA Podcast.
Your favorite podcast is here.
You smile, you show up, you keep going. But inside, something just doesn't feel right. If anxiety, sadness, or stress are affecting your life, Mava Behavioral connects you with experienced psychiatric providers who listen and understand. Mava provides personal care statewide in Florida, Texas, and Illinois. Appointments are fast, care is personalized, visits happen from home or in person. Because your mental health matters every single day. Visit Mava Behavior and schedule your first appointment at mavamedical.com to get started. That's MAVA medical.com. Feeling better starts here.
All right, y'all. We are going to give you guys a nice season recap. You guys know me. I like to go in and analyze stats and whatnot. And we got some cool things to go over now that the regular season is done. And more importantly, we've got award winners to talk about and to celebrate. So let's jump right into this right now. We are going to start with our season recap. And this is how our standings look like to end the season. Aqsa, the number 1 seed, 8-1. And Commissars and Muttaqeen, 2 and 3 seeds, both 6 and 3. Despite my team having the better point differential, the first tiebreaker here is going to be the head-to-head. And I look back at that game that we lost to them. We missed a whole bunch of free throws, and we lost in overtime. And I wish we won that game. So 2-3 Commissars and Muttaqeen, and then we had another 2 teams tied with the same record on Nasr and Showtime. And look, this one's even more egregious. Negative 36 PD ahead of plus 31 PD. And that is because Nasr, I think, were the first team to beat Showtime early on in the season, man. One of their bigger wins. And that gives them the head-to-head and puts them fourth. But, 4 versus 5 wouldn't make a difference if they finished 5th and Showtime finished 4th. They were on a crash course to face each other in the first round of the playoffs. And then we had Malik, 4 and 5. We talked about how this is a fake 4 and 5. 4 and 5 plus 9 and the highest points for best offense in the league. This is a scary team. They made the big team the big trade that completely revamped their team. And they're coming into the playoffs with a 2-game win streak there too. So coming together and peaking at the right time. Malik looking good. And then 7, 8, and 9, all 3 and 6. So Al-Qamar, Nars, Mukhtar, 3 and 6, and the point differential there being the tiebreaker. Putting Mukhtar 9th, Nars, your team, Sidd at 8th, Al-Qamar 7th, and then 99ers, man, after starting 2-0 with Ramzi, they lost their last 7 games of the season to finish last place, and it's been tough for them. But it's a clean slate, man. Now that everybody's in the playoffs / play-in, win or go home situation, it's a completely new. It's a new book, right? It's a fresh page that everybody can write their own story. So that's how our regular season standings shake out. And congrats to Al-Aqsa finishing champions of the regular season. 8-1 is tough with a plus 100 point differential and finishing off with a 5-game win streak. So really good stuff there from Aqsa. So what I wanted to do, Sid, I wanted to jump in and talk about a few talking points from the regular season. So let's talk about our top 3 offenses and the top 3 defenses now that we're done with the regular season. Malik finished as a top scoring team, 65.1 points per game. Commissars with 64.6, and Muttaqeen, my team, 63.6. I don't think I've ever finished top 3 in scoring ever in NMAA, man. So that was a pleasant surprise for me.
You jinxed yourself on the podcast, man. You were so frustrated about your offense that all of a sudden they missed that one. You missed that one game.
Yep.
And everything was turned around.
And then they just figured it out, man.
I think the lesson is for all coaches, if your team's in a slump, just go up one game and then come back.
Just go take a vacation. Just step away, go take a vacation, enjoy some time on the beach and just come back and your team's going to be much better. But yeah, man, that's honestly very very pleasing to see my team there in a top 3 offense. Top 3 defenses, to your point earlier, Sid, Al-Aqsa 51.4. I've got to check my record books there, but that legitimately might be the best defense in NMAA semi-pro history. Like in our 10 seasons, I think that we've played, that's likely the lowest points allowed. 51.4 is stupid defense. With the Keen, and look at the difference here. So we finished second, in defense, but 57.8, so nearly 60 points per game. So going from low 50s to high upper 50s between first and second, just kind of goes to show the the level of defense that Alex has been playing. And then Showtime, third, 58.4 points per game. The interesting point here, the nugget that I want to point out here, is that no team finished, in both top 3 offense and top 3 defense, except for one team with the Keen there. So, not trying to toot my own horn there, but it is noteworthy. It's something to point out, man. And I hope that continues on and rolls into the playoffs, man.
No, you deserve credit for that too, right? I think even when we spoke about the offensive struggles in the beginning, the one thing Muttaqin had true to their system was their defense was still elite, right? I think at that point in time, it was low 50s for your Muttaqin team, right?
Yep.
So hats off to you coaching and to your teammates, right? Like, Yassine, Isaiah, they've been big.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, Sid. One change that I made that I felt like it really turned around our defense was putting Zay in the middle of our 2-3 zone defense. So to start the season, like we started the season 1-2, we default to a 2-3 zone defense. I like coaching a 2-3 zone defense. It's my favorite thing to coach is defense and coaching a 2-3 zone defense. And, I started off with Yassine in the middle and, Zay on the wings, right? And once I made that switch, I said, you know what, let's get Zay, because I wanted to kind of up the pace, right? Like we were scoring a little bit and I was like, all right, hey, we need to up the pace. I want to get Zay on the ball, get rebounds, and if he's pulling down a rebound, you're running with it. Like you kick off the break, you lead it, in transition, and so you get off and play in the middle. And what came along with that was his blocks just like skyrocketed. He's sitting there and he's blocking the crap out of everybody, rebounding the ball, and then he's off in transition. So his rebounding went up, his blocks went up, his points went up, the pace of the team went up. And then not only that, I mean, that's just Zay in the middle. Yassine on the wings, like his steals per game skyrocketed. And then that's where his football IQ kind of came in play, because as a wing, you're kind of playing, if you're on, weak side, if the ball's on the other side of the court and he's playing weak side defense, you got to use your IQ and your, awareness and positioning, right? And he's doing that, just football IQ was going in there and he's picking off cross court passes and, athletic enough to get out there and get, deflections and cause steals and turnovers and get out. And so Yassine on the wing really helped us big time in defense. So that one change really made a world of a difference for us. And then obviously, adding Christian Solis to that, holy God, man, and that just took us to another level. So
Christian's a dog. I try to tell people, yeah. He really is a dog.
Yeah, love him. Absolutely love him as a teammate. Okay, top 3 rebounding teams and top 3 assist teams. Al Nassr come in 41.1 rebounds per game. Why? Omar Uthman, my guy. Bro, I feel like he's averaging half of those rebounds with his 20 rebound game.
24 rebounds, of course.
Crazy stuff, man. So no surprise there. Commissars and Malik, 40.4 rebounds per game. I think that can also be explained. JP's been an excellent rebounder. You got Amir rebounding the ball. And both Tristan and Rod also, wing players that rebound the ball well. Malik, you got Debo, one of the best rebounders, consistently one of the best rebounders in the league. Tron getting in there. Then you got obviously Marcus and guys like Byron and whatnot. So yeah, they're getting up there in rebounds. And then Al-Aqsa, 38.8 rebounds per game. So not only are they getting stops, defensive stops, they're securing the rebounds to secure those stops too. For the assist, Commissars, 17.4 assists per game. Amir, was assisting the ball. That's always been like a strong aspect of his game, passing. Yeah. Yep. And what surprised me was JP's assists this season. I'm not going to lie, man. Like he's had games where it was like near triple double type numbers, like 12 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists, something like that. And I'm like, whoa, okay, I didn't know he had that in his game.
They just bought into the system. They have scorers, of course they have scorers. They got Rod and Tristan, right? But there's nobody unselfish. Doesn't matter who's on the court, they're going to make the extra pass. Love it.
Yeah, and credit to Amir to instill that in his guys and make sure his guys are unselfish and playing that way. With the keen 17.1 assists per game, big shout out to Brian Brown, man. He's getting out there and he's dishing the ball and playing the point guard role well. He's had several games of 8 assists or more in a game, so shout out to Brian. And then Malik, again, just a tough team top to bottom, 16.4 assists per game, one of the highest scoring teams too, so they're assisting on their field goals made. And Commissars and Malik are the only 2 teams that finished top 3 in both rebounding and assists. So nothing to scoff at here. I mean, this is something I think that you got to take real consideration of. All right, longest win streaks and longest losing streaks. So Aqsa and Showtime shared the longest win streaks, 5, and longest losing streak to 99ers. We were just talking about it. They started 2-0 and then lost their last 7 games of the season. It's been tough for Ramsey. But yeah, man, 5 game win streaks for both Aqsa and Showtime. Showtime had a really hot start to start the season. And then at Aqsa, they've been hot really all season long, and they're coming into the playoffs with a 5 game win streak.
I think what's impressive about the Aqsa stretch, just another point, I think there was a podcast where we're just like, okay, it's going to start to balance out with Aqsa, right? Because they haven't played what we considered at the time tier 1 opponents, right? Like they didn't play the Commissars yet. They didn't play, I think, Malik. They didn't play NARS. They didn't play some of these teams that, I think during that podcast felt they would probably take a loss to, right? Like, and in that 5 game stretch, they went 5-0. They beat all the teams that, people thought would be a challenge. And I think they beat them all pretty handedly outside of Showtime, which was a 4-point game, right? So definitely showed their dominance in their 5 game win streak.
Yep. Shout out to both Aqsa and Showtime for that. Sid, I want to say you're one of your teams. I mean, you had an undefeated season, right?
I did have an undefeated season. I was MVP that season. I had an undefeated season.
Heck yeah. And that was...
I think that was the only team in semi-pro to be undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. Unless Shahab won. I think he had 1 loss still, though.
No, I think you were the only team that had an undefeated season. But that season, I think we had, 8 teams in that? So it was a 7 game win streak. Yep. So I think that's probably the longest win streak, I think, in NMAA semi-pro history. I'll have to check that.
I miss those days, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, you'll get back there, Sid, man. Just take your rehab serious and you'll be back there.
Sometimes I want to be there now. I think last game I was just like, maybe I should check in the game.
No, don't do that, man.
Good.
Don't do that. All right, largest. So a few quick hitters here, man. Largest margin of victory this season with the keen 41 points and the 96-55 win over Showtime. Yes, Showtime were, shorthanded. Some of their guys showed up late in the game. But yeah, 41 points is still a lot there. It's still a lot. And that was the largest margin of victory there. Most points scored in a game with the team, 96 points. I'll have to check that one for records. I think that's either tied for the most in NMAA semi-pro history or up there. Definitely a top 3. We could have easily had 100, Sid. I don't want honestly, I didn't want the team to keep going at the end there, and I think we did kind of let off the gas. We're kind of fooling around there, but I think we could have definitely hit 100. That would have been a cool stat to have. But least points scored in the game, Al-Mukhtar, 38 points. I want to say that was their first game of the season, 38-70 versus Al-Aqsa, and they had a full team in this game. I think that was like No, did they have
with Sam? I'm not sure if they had with Sam that
I thought
game.
they had with Sam in this. I want to say like they had a full team in this game. And then with Sam, like I think like rolled his ankle like the following Thursday and then missed a couple games after that. So Ahmed Shadi, their coach, is going to have to confirm that. But I think it was like their first game of the season. They had everybody, and it just first game of the season, and just that it was
First game of the season. I think they were missing Weezy.
We'll have to check there. But yeah, 38 points, man, is low. I know we've had teams in terms of like again, records. I know we have teams that had like low 30s, games in the low 30s. So
you are accurate. They did have their full team.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, hey, listen, it goes back to what I was saying, man. Last time I was on here about, man, like the first like 3 games. I don't mean to say like throw them out; they don't matter at all. But like you can get some just outliers like this, some anomalies like that. But yeah, 38 points there, least points scored, highest scoring game total at combined points, 161 points in a shootout between Showtime versus Malik, where Showtime won 87-74. That had to be a fun game. And then the lowest scoring game, my team was a part of this one, man. And this actually went to overtime, 45-44, 89 total points. I mean, Showtime scored 87 in their highest scoring game there. And that's just 2 points shy of like our combined total in that game with the King versus it's not versus Malik. Sorry, that's versus Mukhtar. That is a typo on my end, guys. That's versus Mukhtar.
Here's the funny part about that, right? And I think the reason why I was laughing.
About to change right
if you go back, right, that 89 points between both of your teams, your own team outscored it with a 96-point victory.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see most points scored in the game with the King, lowest scoring game with the King. But that's how your season has been, right? You went from lowest offense to just offensive juggernaut at this point, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the only reason I was laughing early. It was just it's so funny to be 45 and then you more than doubled your own point total.
I was thinking like, what do I got to do to break 50 points, man? Yeah, so it felt like in a whole season ago, ages ago here. So, all right, individual stats, individual game highs, and scoring. With Sam takes the crown here with his 39 points against your team, Sid. 39. He had what, like 25 or 27 in the first half?
I think it was 29 in the first half. Honestly,
good God.
He went crazy. It might have been one of the best semi-pro first half I've ever seen. And this is coming from me, where I've had 30 in a half. I finished the half with 10 threes.
That's crazy.
And I still think Wissam had a better first half than I did. I mean,
I wish I'd watched that, man. That's wild.
Back over double teams. I mean, just that's anything tough. He took. When there was a shot he was running, he's not even around the basket, man. He floats it up and it goes in off the backboard and one. And I'm just like, anything this guy touches right now, someone touches him.
Hit the Midas touch there, man. That's unbelievable, man. So 39 points from Weezy in that game. Adam Dorsey had 38 earlier in the season versus Malik, man. Absolutely went off in that game. And then Akbar, 34 versus Commissars. Akbar's had a couple 30-point games, but his season high was 34 against Commissars. So shout out to these 3 dogs here in scoring. For rebounding, we already talked a lot about Omar Uthman, man. He's in here twice. That 24 rebound game last Sunday against Al Qamar was the season high for any player. And then Ian, who's been rebounding the heck out of the ball as well, he had 23 against your team, Sid.
My team might be on a lot.
You might be on here a lot, man. And then Omar Uthman again, 22 rebounds against Malik. As I was going through this, like I said, I think Omar had 3 or 4 20 rebound games. So crazy effort on the boards there, man. All right, and then individual game highs and assists. All right, you're shaking your head, man. I see you.
There's a high for every category. I'm pretty sure blocks and steals.
I need to put like another slide in there for like team with like most like highs against. Right?
It would be Waaris. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Oh man. So Brian here from my team, 13 assists versus NARS, man. That was a fun game. Brian out there dishing the ball. And then Carlos and Brian again tied for second place with 11 assists. And then we had 3 people tied for third most assists in a game. So JP from Commissars, Steve Smith when he was on Malik, and Wasim versus my team. All these guys had 10 assists there. So shout out to these players for getting their players involved. All right. And then last but not least here for the season recaps. So what we've been doing, guys, is the NMAA podcast team every week. We go through and we give predictions of our games. And Ahmed Ashadi has been tracking them in a spreadsheet throughout the entire season, all of our picks. And this is how that's all shaked out for us. So we had Ozzy, myself, Waaris, Sidd, Amir, Ahmed Shadi, Obi, and Rumsey, all participating in the picks week in, week out. And Ozzy gets to take something home this season. Not to say that he's not going to win it all, or I'm not ruling him out. But Ozzy was pretty happy about this one. He told me, make sure you put this in there. Let them know that I won something. And so Ozzy here getting 69.4% of his picks correctly. Like that's actually impressive. I'm not going to lie.
It is 70, pretty much, 70%. That's pretty solid.
Hey, he's the commission. I told him, I was like, yo, man, like you might be like match fixing and whatnot. Like 69.4 is stupid, man. Like I don't know how you can get that. But yeah, shout out to Ozzy.
The next person is 8% lower, which is yourself.
Yeah, 60%. So I think I asked Ahmed, and I was like, what did last season's winner? What was his win percentage? I think it was like low 60s too. So it's been done before, but yeah. So I finished there, second place, Waaris, third, Sidd, fourth, Amir, fifth, and then Ahmed is the last one to have 50% or more of his picks right, and then Obi and Rumsey both under 50% there. So yeah, man, fun times, and we'll continue our picks going into the playoffs, and we'll see what comes out of that.
Start up a new bracket.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. So let's get into this. I know you guys have been waiting for this, but let's talk about our award winners. And this is always the funnest part of the season, man. Going in and recognizing, a bunch of players here. And we'll start off with Sixth Man of the Year nominees: Daniel Kantave from Al-Aqsa, Hamza Ali 99ers, Saram Dean from Showtime, a rookie, and Isa Yaqub, longtime clock guy, out here Sixth Man of the Year. And these are our nominees, man. All deserving six-man, nominees, and yeah, anything on your end, Sidd, man, going into this one?
No, I think this was a tough race, right? We've seen, Issa come in actually, for both teams, Comer and NARS, give himself some playing time, hit a couple of threes. I think he's also averaging close to 3 steals a game, which is pretty impressive.
That's crazy.
Sarim, come in. I think he's averaging like 5 points, 6 rebounds. Hamza Ali has been fantastic for 99ers this season. Some timely threes, as well as, just taking it off the dribble and getting some layups. And then Dan, right? Here's the crazy thing about Dan. Every single time I mention his name, people look at his stats and they're like, are you sure he's not starting? No, Dan is not starting. Yeah. He's coming off the bench.
I side texted him. I'm like, yo, you got this right or wrong here with Dan? Like, what is he doing here?
So, and that's the level of impact that he's been having, right? So I'll let you go ahead and announce the winner, but
yes,
all of
them
them are definitely deserving. Daniel,
congratulations, Sixth Man of the Year. Well deserved, man. This guy's a bulldog. I love Daniel's game, man. Again, just the intensity that he plays with, the competitiveness. He's just a bulldog, man. I think he can guard, 1 through 5. And
he's not afraid. He's not afraid, man.
Not afraid at all, man. And he's
well deserving.
Yep, absolute bulldog here, man. So congrats to Dan. Rookie of the Year, man. This is a good list here. Omar Diaz, Julian Anderson, the high schooler, coming in here, and then Ali Jafar, as our three candidates. So yeah, each of these guys, man, have made their impact this season. Ali coming in as a replacement for Rumsey, and like I said, Julian, first season in NMAA. Young Buck coming in and being the point guard on Mukhtar, and he's looked good. And Omar, man, he's him and Akbar, I think they make up the best backcourt in the league, and he's had huge games. So good list here, Sid.
Yeah, and again, very well deserving. I think Julian's averaging about 12. Ali's about, I think, 9, if I'm not mistaken, and Omar's at around the 18 mark. But each one of them offers something vastly different. Julian with his 3-point making, Omar is kind of like a 3-level scorer, and Ali has been just, not indicative of their record, but, he has played extremely well. I felt like on both ends of the court.
Yeah. All right. Winner of Rookie of the Year is Omar Diaz of NARS, man. Congratulations to Omar. I think, man, he sealed it with that last game against Malik, man. He is tough to guard, and he throws his body in there. He gets into the lane, throws his body in there, plays through contact, finishes tough. He can, score from range too, and he's got good handle. And you look at somebody, of his physique, and he's deceptively, athletic and quick, and he gets by you. And he's tough, man. He's a tough player. Good addition to the league, and yeah, man, he's a deserving winner here.
Yeah, love having him on my team. Exemplary teammate, always propping guys up. Even willing to, tell me, hey, coach, this is what I'm seeing. So love having him. Think he's very well deserving of the Rookie of the Year award. And even for a rookie, he has taken on the leadership role oftentimes, navigating our offense and making sure that we're in the right spot. So hats off to Omar, and,
good stuff, man.
Playoff push.
Congrats. Most improved. We got a long list here, man. Sid, I'll let you talk through this one or list them out and talk through them. You came up with this nominee list, and I'm with you, man. I think, we had to expand the list here because there were guys that were worthy of being nominated, worthy of recognition, man. This has been a season where you look, across the board, and you say, hey, this guy's having a great season. Whoa, this guy's doing this season. And, that's why this list is as big as it is.
Yeah, and I agree with you. This is 7 candidates. I don't think in the history of NMAA we've ever had 7 candidates. I'll say that much. And I'll be honest, we could have had 10, right? So I think there was a lot of candidates that, did improve this season in definitive spots of the game that weren't mentioned. I will say the bulk of candidates here that are mentioned, they probably double their stat category in one or two areas. For example, Waaris here averaged a double-double this season. I think this is the first time actually averaging a double-double. Christian Solis has played spectacular this season. I think, he's on your team.
Yep.
Carlos Roman, again, doubled his stats, point totals, I think even steals. Tron.
He's up there in steals, yeah.
Yeah, Tron, if you look at him, even from the beginning of the season to now, Tron at one point in time, I think was putting up 15-point, 15 rebound games, right? Which is big.
An amazing start to the season.
Correct. And then, Asad, I think when I looked at his stats, he's definitively double as well. And he's having a great season for Kareem.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of been their glue and a very central piece to their offense.
And underrated defensively too, Asad.
He's been hitting them.
Yeah.
And then the other two, Issa, who's on my team, I think I spoke about him already a little bit. But again, went from a player who doesn't even play himself sometimes to spotting up in the corner, hitting some threes. He's had a 11-point game already this season. And then his steals, right? I think people aren't paying attention to that, but he's been getting 2 to 3 steals a game. I think last game for us had 4. So love the way he's been playing. And then Garfield just, absolute monster for Showtime this season, right?
Yeah.
He's, I think, been a double-double effort, if not pretty close. No, he is a double-double effort.
Yep.
And he doubled both categories, which is hard to think about. When his first season, he averaged, I think, 7.7 rebounds.
Quiet for season, man.
Correct.
Yeah. Awesome stuff here, man. So, shout out to all these players, man. And you love to see some of these, because I mean, a lot of these guys, like, they've been playing in the league for a while now. And so, like, we love to see, like, stories like this. It's like, all right, hey, like, damn, like, this guy's actually cooking this season. And
sometimes it's opportunity, right? Another player that I thought about, Omar Zaini on your team, for example. I thought he had a really great season, right?
Yeah.
So, guys, I know not everyone is mentioned on the list, but sometimes it's just, again, you see 7 names on this list, and out of the 7, 6 are going to be disappointed because only 1 can win.
Yep. All right, so speaking of the winner, this award goes to Garfield Lewis of Showtime. Man, hard to argue with this one. Like you said, Sid, this guy's been an integral piece to Showtime, who's one of the better teams in the league this season, and contributions across the board for him. Points, rebounds, double, right? And his combined defensive stocks are stupid. His steals and stats is crazy. And so he's going out there, and he's another one of those players that can guard 1 through 5. Athletic, he's strong, and more than all that, just an awesome teammate as well. Pleasant dude to be around, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy to see him excel and thrive this season, and this is a well-deserved award for Garfield, man. So congratulations.
Hats off to him, Garfield.
All right, Offensive Player of the Year, man. This is a fun one. Nominees: Akbar Yassin of NARS, man. Akbar is always one of the funnest players in the league to watch. So is BG of Al Qamar. Man, talk about the season that he's had, man. It's been a few quiet seasons from BG, coming off of his finger injury, and this season he's really looked like vintage BG. And it's awesome to see, man. I love his transition pull-up threes, high arcing shots that just line the freaking net. And it's been fun, man, seeing BG get out there, and his Speedy Gonzalez dribbling, and what's tough about BG too, man, is like his the way that he rises, like when he goes for like a mid-range jumper, like he'll like, especially like against a 2-3, like he might like get into that heart of that 2-3, stop like right in the paint, and then just rise and just kind of just like wait for everybody else to go down and then shoot it and then make it. And he's had some tough finishes this season, man. So
I've seen him finish not just one time, a couple of times, layups on like 3 defenders. I think there's a picture of him finishing on 3 defenders.
Bro, with his left hand too. I think it was against Uxlar or something, and I think Hare was in it, and he was talking about it. We were hanging out like the next day, and Hare's like, yo, how did you make that? Like, how did you make that? There's 3 guys challenging that, and you're around them and finishing with your left hand. It was tough, man. So no, BG's had a great season. Adam, man, he's been the lightning bolt for Showtime, and he had that 38-point game, one of the top highest scoring games for any player this season. Isaiah Nicholson busting out in a big way after the first 3 games. We talked about his slow start, and since then he's been up there in 20 plus, and he's had some high 20-point scoring games, and getting out there in transition, and he's shooting threes and everything. And so Isaiah, Offensive Player of the Year, good nominee here. And then Omar Diaz, we already talked about him, and again finishing with 28 points against Malik. And again, only if you watch that game to see the variety of ways that Omar was finding to score. Just he's a fun player to watch here.
Yeah, and just for everyone to be aware, this is top 5 leaders in scoring points per game.
There you go. Fair enough. Good context to know here. All right. Having said that, our winner is Akbar Yassin for Offensive Player of the Year. Congrats to AK. Again, yeah, yeah. He's just so dang fun to watch, and
3-pointers made. To put it into perspective, I think he's near 5 3-pointers made per game.
Whew.
Which is, I think, like 1.5 or like 1.8 more than the next person.
Damn, that's crazy, man. Awesome stuff, AK. Good stuff, and congratulations to you, Offensive Player of the Season. Let's talk about Depoy, Defensive Player of the Season. I get excited about this one, man. I love defense. nominees, Manny, Barnum, 7 steals this past Sunday, and he's always up there in steals. Sid, man, we might need to check this one, but I want to say, like, since Manny's been in the league, I think he's been like the league leader in steals, like since he's been in. It may be like one season that he didn't lead the league in like his 3 or 4 seasons. What's that?
I beat him one season, but he was missing games.
Gotcha. Yeah, but he's always up there. He's always up there, man.
Always in the 3.5 and above category.
3.5, and like that's a crazy number to be above, man. So yeah, Manny, awesome defensive player, deserved nominee here. Garfield Lewis, defensive stocks, so steals and blocks, he's up there. Isaiah leading the league in blocks this season. I think he had 5 to finish the season, and his average. If we look at the league leaders, I think he was averaging like north of 3 blocks per game, and like second most didn't even have 2.
Yeah, the next person had like 1.9. He was definitively the best shot blocker in the league.
Yep, by like a wide margin. Yassine with his steals and his rebounding this season. That's why he's on this list. And we talked about his ability to play defense and him thriving in that, bottom wing spot in the zone, and Omar Uthman simply for his defensive and offensive, rebounding, just rebounding in general. And he's been the he's been the rock, for Al Nassr in their paint.
Yeah, I think he's averaging 17 rebounds a game.
Holy.
I check it real quick. Yeah, he's averaging 17.5 rebounds a game. That's
averaging, man. Like, if you have like 15 or more, like, man, I completely clean the glass today. That's crazy. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Garfield Lewis. That is 2 awards for Garfield. Congratulations. Most Improved and Depoy for Garfield Lewis. A Showtime.
Yeah, and again, part of the Most Improved came from the fact that he's just an enforcer on the defensive end. He's Showtime's big, but like you mentioned, guards 1 through 5 if needed as well. Just awesome season for Garfield.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. 2 awards for Garfield. All right, and then last but not least, Most Valuable Player MVP. Our nominees: Ian Hurley of Al-Aqsa, 8-1, top seed Al-Aqsa, coming in with a massive stat line this season with points and rebounds and just steady all throughout. It's not like he had a big game to kind of bump up his stat. He's been doing it game in, game out, week in, week out. Ian just getting in there and getting busy this season. Isaiah Nicholson, man, we already talked a lot about Isaiah, but he's stepped up in a big way and everything, scoring, rebounding, defense. He's been great. Adam Dorsey leading Showtime, and Tristan Bremner from Commissars. I think what really got him in this list, apart from the fact that Commissars are a winning team, is what he did without Rod, man. What he did without Rod, it really kind of showed that he is an MVP caliber type of player.
Yeah, so, and these candidates, they can be MVPs any season, right? Like, obviously, again, only one winner, but going through the list, Ian, double effort, 8-1 Aqsa, like you mentioned, right? Best defensive team, and a lot of that, we mentioned, Manny for Defensive Player of the Year, but it's also Ian just stopping everything in the paint, right? And then you have Isaiah again. We mentioned blocks leader. That he's top 5 in scoring. You have Adam Dorsey, who I thought has had a spectacular season. I think, one of my favorite things I love about watching Adam is like he'll drive to the lane and he'll take contact mid-air on some of these jumps and still finish the layup, right? Like, strong, athletic player. Shooting extremely well, and he's being the energy spark for his team. And then Tristan, as you mentioned, without his first-round pick, playing through it and getting wins. And that's more than, a lot of teams can say, specifically even my team, right? And I don't even think he's 100% healthy, by the way. I think he's been dealing with like a nagging groin injury, I think a groin or abdominal injury or something, some kind of muscle injury. So
Tristan putting the team on his back when they need him. So great list here of MVP nominees, but our MVP winner is Isaiah Nicholson of Muttaqeen. Let's go, Zay. Congratulations, MVP, man. I am thrilled to say, man, I've got an MVP on my team. I'm not surprised that you won it, man. Like, I think you really made your case for it, and I'm happy for you. And you've completely turned around this team with the way that you've just turned it on, man. Again, offensively and defensively, and we're 6-3, and you're at the core of it. And like you were talking about, Sid, in transition, there is not a scarier or more unstoppable player this season. He gets out there, he's either going to get fouled or he's finishing. And man, Isaiah Nicholson, he's had a fabulous season. So thrilled for him.
Yeah, right. He's had the recipe for MVP. I mean, he's top 5 in scoring, right? That's one. He's blocks leader. And then no slouch on rebounds, right?
Yep.
You think about 3 facets of the game, and he has it in certain aspects. 100% well-deserved MVP. I'm happy for him. As a former teammate of Isaiah, love having him.
Heck yeah.
Hats off to you, and congrats, Isaiah, on your MVP.
Love it, man. Good stuff.
I have one small segment to present because the awards aren't fully finished. So I'll take
go ahead.
Really quickly. My section's really just going to be about the stat leaders, okay? Before we do that, let's do this. Whoops. I got to steal this screen from Kareem. Share screen. Entire screen. And then this one. Cool. Before I do that, we're going to go into 2 more awards. One is Coach of the Year. Candidates were Muhammad Ahmed of Aqsa. Another candidate of Commissars, Amir Zafari. Third candidate, Kareem on Muttaqeen. Again, you saw multiple of your teammates for awards here. Fourth, Omer Zahid on Nasser. And then fifth, Showtime. And so for Coach of the Year, obviously you have to have a winning record. So Zachar of Showtime tops it off. And so for the winner of Coach of the Year, and rightfully so, Muhammad Ahmed of Aqsa has, won that award. He's 8-1, the best defensive team we've seen, I think, ever. And, just really well-drafted team and great game plans, I think, for each team he's had to play.
Love it, man. Congrats, Muhammad.
Awesome. And so then the last award is GM of the Year. This goes based on, trades and just how you drafted your team. Did you make draft trades as well to move up the spots, things like that, right? And so candidates, again, same for Coach of the Year. It was pretty much the first 5 spots, but to re-mention it, Muhammad Ahmed of Aqsa, Amir Zafari, Commissars, Muttaqeen, so Kareem, Showtime, which would be Zachar and Zahid, and then Omer Zahid on Nasser. And that winner, and rightfully so, we've seen it on the analytics here on this podcast, is yours, podcast host, Kareem.
Heck yeah.
Year, right?
Let's go.
The Christian Solis trade, and I think well deserving of this.
Sweet. I appreciate that, Sid. That's
15 seconds, Kareem. Just talk about how you feel a little bit winning GM of the Year.
Love it, man. Love it. It's always tough, man. Like, me, man. I'm reluctant to make trades, man. I'm like trade averse. So it hurt to trade. I hate trading players, but man, the turnaround since the trade has been great. Christian, the spark that he's gave us, and Kaz, and I love the I don't know. I love the input and the insight that Kaz, gives, whether it's on the bench or whether it's in the chat. I just appreciate that from him. And so he's contributing in that way. And, he's had, his moments on the in the game for us too. But it's Christian's impact. Like I just tell him, like, you've taken the level of the team, right, and you've just taken it up a number of notches on both offense and defense. And he's just so well. I don't know. He's easily coachable, and the effort that he. I just like unleashing him, and just watching him. Just play 150%, give 150%. So love Christian, man, and he's been made a big difference to the team.
Is this your first GM of the Year award?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe the first season I got it. I think the first season I had drafted a stupid team in the very first semi-pro season. I think I got it then. But no, I appreciate that, man. But I do want to go back to coach of the year and give Muhammad Ahmed his flowers, because 8-1. Again, I wasn't one of those believers of his draft strategy, and he's just made it work. He's made it work, and the defense likely is. We got to confirm it, but likely is the best defense ever in NMAA semi-pro, and the way that he sacrificed himself as well, with playing time, but also kind of managing the personalities on the team, and I think they had like 2 or 3 like 30-point wins too. So like even the performances themselves have been very, very. They've just been remarkable, and so Muhammad's been killing it this season. So I'm happy for him, man. So congrats to all the winners, man.
Big shout out to all the winners. And so last thing to cover on the award section is stat leaders. I'm not going to mention nominees. We're just going to go through the stat winners, right? So for point total, and in a nail biter, by the way, I think, he scored 24 points in a win on Sunday, and those last 2 points meant something, because that's how much he won the total points award by.
No way.
Of course, it's not going to work when I want to click. BG. There you go. BG.
Let's go, BG.
Is our scoring leader with 182 points. Adam Dorsey had 180 points. He lost it by 2 points. 24-point game, super important. And the reason he takes this trophy, and very deserving. He's played. I think what's so impressive about BG this season is everyone is zeroing in on him every single game, right? Because I think everyone thinks, hey, for Cummer's offense, stop BG and you kind of win the game, right? Clearly it has not worked. He's been averaging 20.2 points a game, and he's finding ways to still score.
Let's go. Hey, you know now, man, he's got all the ammunition needed to talk all the crap in the world to Tariq, right? Like they've got this thing going on about like who's the Batman and who's the Robin. It's just hilarious watching them two fight over that. But hey, BG, man, league leading scorer. He looks like a Batman to me.
His name starts with the B. He's Batman.
There you go. Heck yeah, BG. Welcome back, man. Welcome back. That's awesome.
And then next up, I don't think this really needs much, right? We've talked about it enough on the other awards. Omar Uthman for the Rebounder Award, Glass Cleaner Award. I think if you had to build him in 2K, he's a pure glass cleaner, right? At 17 and a half rebounds a game. He definitely dominated. I think the next up person was Ian, and it was still about like 8 or 9 rebounds away. So Omar Uthman, well deserving of this award. He's been cleaning it up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And for assist on Muttaqeen, Brian Brown, Playmaker of the Year. He's been facilitating the offense. We've seen a lot of games where, he's had 13 assists. I think he's had 11 assists, 10 assists, 9 assists. Yep. He's been doing great this season, and has set up your team to get easy buckets.
Yep. Congrats.
We talked about him on an award. Manny, just for steals, he, I think, averaged 3.9 steals per game this season, right? So defensive
steals a game is stupid.
1,000%. And the reason why I gave him that title for defensive playmaker, once it's in the passing lane, he's got it. He's on the other end. He's getting 2 points. It's a fast break layup. And so he's been looking great this whole season. And blocks leader, Isaiah Nicholson, protector. again, wasn't even close. I think he won it even without this game that happened on Sunday coming up, unless the next person dropped like 8 blocks or something like that.
Goes in the bag. Yep.
MVP and blocks leader.
Let's go, Zay.
And then last, I think, is the 3-point leader and sharpshooter award is definitely Akbar Yassin. He averaged 4.8 threes per game this season. He's had a couple games with 7 threes, I think 9 threes. He's been lights out from deep. And just
you know what's crazy, man, about AK is that you guys have faced, and you talked about this, I think last time you were on the pod. You guys have faced so many different types of defenses, right? 2 3s, 3 2s, man defenses, box and ones, and man marking, zone defenses, all different types of defenses, and it just doesn't make any difference to AK. Like, you're still gonna get 5 threes a game out of him, and I don't know, just says a lot about his ability to hit the threes, man. High percentage shooter, and he's a difficult shot maker too.
100%, and it's been awesome having him on the team. And again, I think he won Offensive Player of the Year, and also 3-pointers made has been a lot of the reason why for that.
Love it.
And that's what I have for the stat leaders. And
good stuff, Sid. I like your PowerPoint more than mine. I got to have you make the PowerPoints, man. Come on now.
It's too much work, man. I did it. Because I was just like, Kareem's gonna make me look bad.
No, bro.
Doing it, I texted Ozzy. I was like, I don't have the time for this. This PowerPoint alone took me more than 30 minutes.
It looks good though, man. I like it. It's all, you got the backgrounds and everything, and you got like the different colors, bro. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I tried. Like, look. I got him shooting the 3 blocks. He's blocking it at the rim.
Yeah, breaking the backboard. Look at that.
I tried something.
I was paying attention to that, man. I saw that. I appreciate that. Good stuff here, man. But anyhow, there you have it, guys. That's your season recap. We talked about your award winners, your statistical award winners as well. A lot of stuff to go over here in a long regular season, 10 games. 10 teams, 9 games. A lot can happen. So good stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and congratulations to all of our winners. And we're gonna jump after this break into our playoff predictions going into Sunday.
You're listening to the NMAA Podcast.
Your favorite podcast is here.
It's playoff time, Sid. Winner go home. We've seen it in NMAA, man. It doesn't matter if you go into the season or go into the playoffs undefeated. Doesn't matter if you go into the playoffs having won one game, right? It's
had no wins, and they went to the finals.
No wins. That's right, man. That's before we even had like play-ins and whatnot. Everybody made the playoffs. And yeah, this one season blessed. This is like a Rumsey team or a Hamza Ali team. Bro, 0 wins, and they go all the way to the finals. So, man,
it lost a nail biter, right? They could have won it all.
Yeah. So NMAA has proven to be completely unpredictable when it comes to the playoffs, guys. So it's going to be hard to.
It's not a shot at Uxa, so please don't think I'm taking a shot at Uxa. But a lot of the times, it's rarely ever the 1 seed who wins it, right? Like, please don't think that like other teams can have a chance. It's 3 games. Be the best version of yourself for 3 games.
Facts.
And some teams, it might be 4.
Yep. Yeah, I agree, man. So let's jump right into it. We're gonna on Sunday morning, like when we talked about the first games are gonna be the playing games. Early tip. We've got the 7 versus 10 seed Al-Qamar versus 99ers, and then we've got the 8 versus 9 Nars versus Mukhtar. Let's talk about Al-Qamar versus 99ers. Al-Qamar, man, coming in 3-6, 99ers 2-7. Not a lot of info, honestly, like historical data about 99ers, and that's what makes them dangerous. Is that they're coming in. Rodney's only played 2 games, right? Nader's coming back from injury. Waaris has been out, with because of the baby and whatnot. And so if everybody's showing up, right? We don't really have much historical data to go off to understand. I don't even know if they know how good or bad they can be, right? So they're a dangerous team. And I say this a lot, right? Win or go home. Anybody can win. Like, it's just, right? Like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Like nobody cares about, what happened, before that moment. And so 99ers is a dangerous team. And Al-Hummer's coming in, having, gotten Zayd, playing with him for the first time since the trade, and they look good, and they beat Nasser. They're in the upper half of the standings, and they beat them rather, convincingly. And this is going to be a fun matchup here. I've got my opinion on who's going to win this game, but before I get to that, Sid, what do you think happens in this game?
Oftentimes, and I think regular season is not really that important, right? Playoffs obviously matter the most. It's one game elimination, anything can happen. But I like to go back to like the games where they played each other, right? And Al-Hummer versus 99ers. And 99ers with Ramsey at the time, they were dominating Al-Hummer, right? For much of the game. Obviously, the teams look slightly different. Al-Hummer had Alex McCord, now they have Zayd. 99ers have a different roster completely from that game. But certain things that stood out to me were, Waaris is an excellent paint protector, right? And so Tarek loves driving to the paint. Monk is definitely someone who scores in the paint. Arkham, someone scores in the paint. BG loves that like floater mid-range area, but doing it on Waaris is a little bit more difficult, right? And so on Cummer's side, they have, Zayd, who can out, give them another 3-point shooter, and a very, very capable and, in my opinion, an elite shooter at that as well, right? BG, we spoke about him. He won, total points award. So both teams have some firepower here. I'm going to let you pick first since you talk first, and then I'll do mine.
I was trying to offload this one onto you, man. This one, my gut tells me Khamar is gonna win this one. I was talking about how 99ers they're a trap team. It is dangerous. They're a dangerous team, but I just look at Al-Khamar, I look at BG, I look at Tarek, I look at Zayd, and that's a whole lot of perimeter scoring, right? Even though we've been begging Tarek to shoot more, it's still a lot of perimeter scoring. So to your point about Waaris being that deterrent in the paint, BG has the ability, like I talked about earlier, about him scoring just before getting to the rim. Like he can literally just pop up, rise up, and hit it like a tough, like just midi, like in the paint. Like he can hit those, and he likes getting into the heart of the defense and doing that. And Monk's a decent offensive rebound. So if Waaris is trying to challenge those, is anybody going to get in and try to box out Monk? And then again, going back to perimeter scoring, if Zayd is going to get in there and he's catching and shooting with his lightning quick release, and BG's getting out in transition and whatnot, that's how I see Al-Khamar playing. I think they're going to come in with confidence, from their win against Nasser on Sunday, and I'm going to go Al-Khamar here in. I think this is going to be like a game in the 60s. Like both of these teams are going to break 60s, and Al-Khamar is just gonna edge out.
I'm gonna go against your pick, and I'm gonna go with 99ers. I think Waaris typically steps it up pretty big in playoffs. Obviously, the game means a lot to him at that point. And if I'm 99ers, I'm thinking, hey, run BG, Tarek, Zayd off the 3-point line. That's got to be first. They got to be off the 3-point line. They're near the 3-point line. Put it where like you're standing at the 3-point line and they're standing inside, right? Like that's got to be first. I agree with you. I think BG is going to be a very tough cover, strictly because I don't know who on 99ers from a guard perspective can stop him, right? Like you have Nader, you have Tony, you have Rodney, but again, BG's really, really quick.
Yep.
So I'm interested to see how they'll put a stop to him. But then on the flip side, Waaris is the biggest guy on the court. I think if he starts to enforce his will down low, he can start to be a problem. Comer may end up having to help, and then it can get a guy like Tony going. The thing that I love about the 99ers roster, Tony can drop 20 points, right? He's very capable. If he gets hot,
yep,
it can change the game.
He did it against me last season. In a quarter, he scored like 12 or 15 points.
Correct. And then Nader's another player who can easily get hot. You still have Rodney. I think 99ers can pull this game off.
We'll see, man. I think it's gonna be a fun one to watch. Just considering 99ers is defense, most of the time it's a 2-3 with Waaris in the middle, right? In a 2-3 against BG, Tarek, and Zayd.
So I don't think they'll run a 2-3 this time. I think they're gonna put Waaris on Monk.
On Monk and go man and just kind of still have Waaris, camp in the middle. I can see that too. And I think if they do that and they do that early, right, and they can play that good defense on BG, a lot easier said than done. Then I think it's going to be a closer game. But yeah, if there's stretches of 2-3 and they're getting punished in it before switching, it might be too big of a hole to climb out of. So yeah, we'll see. That's going to be a fun one. So I go Alkamar and Sid goes 99ers here. All right, Nars versus Mukhtar. This is your game. You can't pick this one, Sid. I'll let you speak to it and let me know your thoughts of this one. But this has got to be a matchup that's, I don't know, anticipated for both teams, right? Like you had this game against Mukhtar, right? And Weezy had his 38 points or whatever it was, and man, I think both teams are actually going to be chomping at the bit to face up again in this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, right? If you're looking, if I'm thinking from Weezy's perspective, I dropped 39 points on these guys the first time around, and I had close to 30 at halftime. I easily could do it again. And again, if I'm thinking from Weezy's perspective, I'm thinking they can't guard me, right? and he would be rightfully so, because I think in the first half he outscored us, like my whole team. And so 100%, he's probably going to have that mentality going in. And I think my team's going to have to take that defensive mentality that we have someone who's coming in wanting to kill us, and we have to slow him down, right? He's a tough task to shut down, because he can score at all three levels, but we have to, that's our primary target number one. Like you mentioned in the first game, part of the reason we're in this predicament is we lost that game to them. We were up 5 with like 15 seconds left, and lost that game off of, some not so ideal plays. And we went to overtime, and they took the overtime game, but we'd love to have that game back. And this is a good way to, for our team to right the wrong on that, on that one. Right. I expect this to be a super close game. I think Weezy's going to come off firing. AK and Omar, for us is going to be ready. And then on top of that, we'll have Alex and Jamal. As our bigs ready to go. And I think it'll be a really good game. I think any game that I've played with Weezy against in the final, because he's never been on my team, has always come down to the wire. And so
he's another playoff riser too, man. He already comes in hyped enough, right, in regular season games, but in the playoffs he steps it up another level or two. But he's got to be the main the main ask here. Your focus is going to be on Weezy. It would suck to slow him down and then have somebody like Julian score 25 points and then have that end up costing you. But
and that's happened to me this season, right? From a game plan perspective, where we shut down, or we start to shut down the guys who we're supposed to shut down, and then we have others who hurt us. But I do have a different defensive game plan in mind. Obviously, you have no plans to speak on that on the podcast. But I think you guys have said it before. I love to be risky. I'm in the play-in. I'm going to be super risky. And so
love it, man. I want to see what you got cooked up here, man. I'm going to go for Nars here. I think Omar and Akbar are I think they're going to akdo Wheezy and Julian, right? I think Wheezy, like I said, he's going to come in. He's going to come in extra hungry. But Omar and Akbar, I think, are just going to just the scale is going to go in their favor, I think. And then how's Ahmed Fellow's knee coming into Sunday, right? You made the trade now. You got Alex, you got Jamal, right? So is the battle in the paint going to go your way too? And if that's the case, I don't know, man. Like that's NARS through and through for me. So I think this is a NARS win. And I'm going to say I actually don't think that anybody's actually going to go off in this one. I think if either team is going to win, it's going to be an all hands on deck type of effort. You're going to look at the box score and you're going to see big contributions from everybody. So we'll see, man. That's another exciting game to watch here.
No, I think that's, their game plan going in is going to be shut down AK and Omar. Our game plan obviously going to be stop Weezy and Julian. So I agree with you spot on. I think it's going to be to win this is going to have to win it as a team.
Yes, sir. Okay. Moving on to the actual first round playoff matchups. Obviously the 1 and 2 seed are going to have a bye. They're waiting for the winners from the play-ins. But the 4 and 5 seed is Al Nassr versus Showtime. And this is going to be a game where Showtime is going to look to avenge one of their losses. Their first loss, I think, was against Al Nassr. So they're both coming in 5 and 4. They're both coming in off of losses. So this is going to be another fun one. And Showtime, they're a good offensive team. Al Nassr is a good defensive team. So I like the dynamic there, and we'll see. We'll see how Garfield does against Omar Uthman, right? Because if you can neutralize Omar's impact on the board, like I don't think you're ever gonna completely get him off the boards, right? Like I'm talking about neutralizing Omar looks like 10 rebounds, 12 rebounds, right? Rather than 17 or 22 rebounds, right? If you can limit
low. To be honest, right? 12 might be like you shut him down,
right? Like 12 was like, man, you've done a heck of a job on him. But Garfield's strong. He's strong and athletic. So like that's the matchup in my mind to watch there. And if Showtime can limit the number of just second chance opportunities, right? That Al Nassr they thrive off of those, right? Like they get so many second chance opportunities and a lot of their points. I'm just curious what their percentage of points is from second chances. I'm curious what that is. I wish we had stats that show that, but I'm gonna say Garfield is gonna be able to contain Omar somewhat, and Carlos and Adam are one of those two are going to have a big game. I think one of those two guys are going to have a big game. Al Nassr, I think like a lot needs to go right for them for them to push past Showtime in a playoff. Right? I think Derek's got to have a good game. Wasim's got to have a good game. Omar's got to completely kill on the boards like he does. Ish has got to score too, man. A lot of times I'm watching Ish and. If he doesn't get the ball like 2 or 3 possessions in a row, like he kind of sulks. Yeah, like you can tell the body language is loud and he gets frustrated, right? And it's out of respect, honestly, like for his ability on offense. Like for example, like against Malik, I remember Chavis was face guarding him, right? But his teammates weren't really helping to peel off Chavis off of Ish, right? So, but he can't get too down on that. Like you've got to, get in there, right? Be vocal enough to tell your guys, hey, like I need to get into this. I need help getting into this game, or try to look for me.
Sometimes it's a youth thing, right? Yeah. Kareem, I mean, you'll be the first person to say, I've had you face guard me full court. Right? I remember we were going up against each other, and it's nobody else is in a full court press, just you guarding me full court all the way up the court. I didn't even ball yet, right? So it's part of it, where, people respect you as a scorer. That's the level of respect that comes with it, right? Where they're going to be attached to you, and he has to understand in this game, they're going to be attached to him as well. When I look at their first game, it's so puzzling, man. Like, yes, Showtime lost by 2. Ish had 21 that first game. Omar Uthman, I guess Garfield did slow him down, had 4 points, 11 rebounds. On the flip side, though, Garfield had 21 points, 10 boards. Nick Tui had 17 points, 15 rebounds. Adam, that was his quiet game.
Yeah.
He had 10 points. Carlos had 4, right? And so you can say, oh, is Nick going to score 17 again? Or is Carlos going to hit 5 threes? They have options. Or is Garfield going to score 21, right? I think Adam's obviously not going to score 10. He's going to score more. He's probably going to be in the 20 range. He probably has his game circled on his calendar from the first loss. And then on the flip side, I think Ish had a great game. Derek had a great game. Omar had a more quieter of a game. He's probably going to be in the 10-point range. So I can see this game going either direction. But I will agree with you. I think Showtime is, just based on where I see current offensive trajectories for both teams, I lean Showtime in this one.
Yeah. Showtime's going to be my pick too, man. I know Ozzy and Obi and the rest of the guys on the team. This is all the bulletin board material that they need and all the motivation that they need.
They probably start to be on the calendar for next season,
right? Already, but yeah, we'll see, man. I think Showtime pull through in this one. And then the last game here, 3 versus 6 seed Muttaqin versus Malik. This is tough. I talked about how, man, the few free throws that we missed against Commissars, man, would have had us waiting, to play a team that's just coming off of a game and whatnot. And now I'm playing a Malik, a fake 4 and 5 team, a fake 6 seed. That's the league's leading scoring team. One of the best rebounding teams too. So a very, very tough, like probably one of my toughest first round matchups where I'm the higher seed. But you know me, man. I'm gonna put my head down and what's that?
You did win this matchup in the regular season. Now it was an incredible comeback.
Exactly.
But nonetheless, win however you get it.
Exactly. I don't want to see my team go down and and have us try to fight back for the rest of the game. So it's Marcus and Chavis, and Tron had killed us in our game too, and in Debo. So like on the perimeter and in the paint. So I'm going to get into the film room, watch some film, figure out what I want to do against these guys. It's going to be a tough one. And if we can get past these guys, I think it's going to give us a lot of wind in our sails, man, going into the semifinals. So very tough matchup. Looking forward to it, man. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I actually think it's probably be the best matchup of the first round, I guess, per se, if you have to call it. I guess best matchup of Sunday. I think it's going to come down to not what it was before, where Malik had a double-digit lead and they blew it. I think it's going to be a very neck-and-neck game. Isaiah is also another playoff riser. And, you have blocks leader on your team, assist leader on your team, Christian Solis. I think your team is kind of on a run. Now, Malik is in a 2-0 winning streak as well.
Yeah, 2-game win streak.
So they are, feeling pretty good about themselves.
We're both coming in 4-game win streak for us, 2-game win streak for them.
And I think they're probably feeling pretty good about their win over, my team last week, where, they had to slow down AK and Omar, and they pulled that game out, right? They hung in there until they pulled it out. And that's the type of win that they were looking for the whole season, where like those late game wins where like they execute. I'm going to still lean here and look to Keen. I think, you have the defense and the height to help with both bigs. And then on the flip side, I think Isaiah can wreak some havoc, attacking down in the paint. I actually think your X factor this game is going to be Christian Solis. He's going to have to, hit those floaters that he likes, be aggressive, share the ball the way he has been. But I'll take your team for the win in this one.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that, Sid. And we'll see, man. I'll try not to let you down. Pressure's on for sure, but this is a game where we've got clashing styles, right? League leading scoring team in Malik. My team's a top 3 defensive team too. So yeah, I mean, what's going to give here? So yeah, it's going to be fun. We'll see. Anyhow,
based on our picks, your pick would be Comer wins, right? So they would play Commissars. My pick was 99ers. I'll say let's go with your pick, right? We'll run it that way. So let's go Comer wins, and then you pick Nars to win because I can't pick the second game, right? So I'll go with your pick instead. So matchup would then be Uxa versus Nars and Commissars versus Comer, right?
Yep.
So we can do it, obviously we can just do quick predictions because nothing's guaranteed on that matchup. Mukhtar can win or 99ers can win, and it changes this entire bracket.
Yep.
Let's do Commissars versus Comer, though. Give me your thoughts on that one. I actually think that would be a pretty interesting game.
Yeah, it's always fun, man, whenever you got, Tarek playing against Amir.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched their video in their game. Towards the end of the game, Tarek pegged Amir. Like, he inbounded the ball by, throwing it against Amir's back. And just, getting in and just running off. But it's always fun watching those two face up against one another. I'd go Commissars in this game. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm not going to lie. With Zayd, I think it's going to be closer than it was when they first faced off a few weeks ago. So it will be a better game. But like I said, man, Commissars, they've shown that they can win in a variety of ways too, right? High scoring, low scoring, defensive, defensive efforts, games without, Rod and important players. You got Amir as a coach. So it's just a tough team to beat, man. And then they're up there too in rebounding and assists. So they've got so many things in their favor. And Comer, they'd be coming off of their second game too. So how tired are they, or how much in a groove are they too? I mean, you can go that way as well. But I just think it would go Comer's way.
I agree with you. I think your analysis is pretty spot on. And I think Commissars has been adaptable. And then again, you talk about they're very front heavy with BG and Tarek. And so how tired will they be for the second game? BG plays soccer, so he might not be that tired. And Tarek, pretty dang good shape as well. But again, sometimes your body cramps on you and you're not expecting it to.
Both those guys are 35 and older too, so.
Correct, right? Yeah. So I got Commissars winning that. And so I guess last game for Sunday would then be Uxa versus Nars, 1 versus 8 seed. Obviously, I can't pick it because technically that would be me playing against them again. But I actually like this game. I think first time around, they definitely smacked us up, and I think they beat us by 20 or 19, something like that. And they were definitively the better team. They looked like the better team defensively. And so a lot of this game would be how do we react to that? How do we make our own adjustments? We kind of, again, like I mentioned, we've seen different defenses. They're one of the teams that threw a different defense at us. So, making adjustments on the fly. And again, we are playing the first game versus Mukhtar, and then we have to play a secondary game versus Uxa. So how do we handle, cardio and breaks and making sure players are ready for the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
Whereas Uxa is just coming in fresh. They get, their defensive intensity to be the way that they want. So I think it'll be good. I'll let you, pick the game and talk about it.
Yeah. That's a tough matchup for Uxa in the first round too. I talked about Mutakin versus Malik, right, being a tough first round matchup. I think that would be the second hardest one, right? Uxa versus Nars. That's again a fake 8 seed, in my opinion. A dangerous team. Right? So they would really have to lock in. Not to say that they haven't. They've been doing it all season. They're the best defensive team this season. But they got their work cut out for them, trying to guard Omar Diaz and AK. You've got their bruisers playing against, your bruiser and Alex McCord and Jamal. And so it's a good matchup. That is a good matchup. I don't think it's going to play the same. I think you make good adjustments. So I think you'll learn from how the last game against Al-Aqsa went, and it'll be closer. Tough to say who's going to win this one, honestly, man. Like I could see an upset on this one, man. And like historically, really, really good number one seeds haven't gone all the way through. So does that curse follow Aqsa? Man,
I'll give them credit. The one thing that I do give Aqsa credit on, man, Q's a dog, man. He's a dog. Dan, Ian, Prince. I think oftentimes what happens with one seeds in general is they get comfortable, right? Some teams will be like, oh, we beat them by 20. This is going to be easy, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't see them as a comfort team.
I agree.
And so I think that's the difference with them being one seed as opposed to others.
Yeah. No, that's a very valid point. I don't think they'll care the least bit about how their game went against you guys. They're just going to face up against you guys and try to, beat you down. They're just going to take you to the deep end, right, and just drown you through 4 quarters. That's just what they do. I've seen your team struggle though, Sid. When your team kind of just stalls out offensively, it can look bad. Can Aqsa do that? Can they get you guys into a rut, a quiet quarter? Is it a second or third quarter where you guys go just completely stall out? And do they take control of the game there? Do they take momentum at that point and not look back or build up enough of a lead to maybe see them through, even if you do come back? It could be the difference in that game. I don't know. Having said all that, it's a tough matchup, I think, for both teams. Hard to pick against Al-Aqsa. Again, like I said, there's always a curse on that number one seed, these dominant number one seeds. But I think Aqsa should be able to pull this one out.
Nope. And again, you mentioned it. They have the best defense in the league, and they have it for a reason, right? So completely understand. I think what I used Malik for was kind of practice target for matchups that I'd face in Mukhtar, for example, basically how they would run their defense, and even for Aqsa, right? I did think of how those matchups would play out to begin with. And so the offensive struggles, obviously, I hope I don't have them in the playoffs. But I think I tried to work through the kinks in the Malik game. And so what you saw in the Malik game was just a better offensive flow. Yes, tough shot making, but I think the flow to the NARS offense definitely changed because I changed the offense and how we're going to run it.
Yeah.
And so you started to see something a little bit different, and I'm hoping that adjustment carries forward the playoffs, right? You don't play daily, so hard to carry over all the time. But if it carries over into playoffs, I think our offense is definitely going to be a lot better than it has been.
Good stuff, Sid. All right, y'all. So that is all we got for this packed podcast for you guys. We hope you guys enjoyed it. It's late, man. Me and Sid gotta hit the sack here and get to bed. But
6 a.m.
Yes, sir. We're burning the midnight oil, man. Past the midnight oil, and but this was fun, man. I had fun doing this with you, Sid. You put a PowerPoint presentation together. I did too, and we're talking about fun things like season recaps and awards and playoff predictions and whatnot. So I think the listeners are going to enjoy this one, and we're all looking forward to Sunday. So congrats to all the winners that we spoke about, and good luck to all the teams in the play-in and in the playoffs. It's shaping up to be a fun run in here. Who's going to be the champion at the end of the day, right? It could be anybody. It can be any team. Just want to quickly point out that semifinals is going to be June 5th, and that's a Friday night. Okay, so if you advance past that first round, June 5th is less than a week away after that, right? It's right. Yeah.
It's that Friday.
Is that Friday? Yeah. So be ready for that, and then championship game Sunday, June 7th. Even if your teams are not there, come out. It's always fun, man. When you got the chairs kind of lined up and on the side, and everybody's watching, and it'd be great. So anyhow, I appreciate everybody. You guys, you guys enjoy it, man. And Sid, this was great, man. Any last words from you?
No, man. Let's get the playoffs started. I wish it was tomorrow. So let's get it.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
excited for this. And hats off to you, Kareem. Excellent job on the podcast, right? Loved your presentation.
I appreciate you, man. Good stuff, man. All right, y'all. Everybody take care. Everybody be safe. And we will see you guys on Sunday.
Rock.
My element.
We are NMAA. Basketball, Dean, Brotherhood.
We've got former college D1 athletes, former international players, competition at all levels. Come on, man, it's what we do best.
It's game time, grab your crew cause I got mine. Cause my 5, we gon' shut her down like prime time. We always ready, staying steady on these front lines. Lights, camera, action, and we live, call it showtime. This labor of love, we call it grind and dedication. Blood, sweat, and tears for years, call it determination. Don't get it mistaken when people hating on your greatness. We just patiently waiting to make a slam dunk statement. So turn the station to NMAA Podcasts. Got the commission on going full blast. So when they ask who's the greatest in the state, well, we're shaking bacon and breaking ankles and soul weight. I'm too clean and precise with my jump shot. Celebrate with my bow and arrow, call it guns hot. Locked and loaded with my bag and my whole squad. Always rolling deep with my team, praising one God.
Did you give it all you got? Did you give it 110%? Any team's capable of holding that championship trophy. Just depends how bad you want it.
I'm ruthless, I'm competitive. My drive's on fire, I'm so tentative. I dominate, call me executive. I'm a champion. In the race of life, quitters never reach the finish line. I'ma get what's mine, gonna do the time, cause I'm in my prime. My mind is my weapon, my mental toughness is dead on. I'm a sharpshooter, top hooper. I'm a champion. It's not over till I say it is. Still working hard, beating blessed, time to live. It's all or nothing, I got all to give. Pushing to the last second, cause it's still time to win. Never too late, cause I'm the champion within. And the champions are made of perseverance, no quitting, ha. Yeah, that's why I'm out here grinding day and night. Always hungry, staying humble, that's my way of life. Cause every team dreams of being the number one seed. But do you got what it takes to make it in this league? Giving it all, game on the line, going 110. Claiming it all, looking to thrive, decisions always a win. I'm ruthless, I'm competitive. My drive's on fire, I'm so tentative. I dominate, call me executive. I'm a champion.
Let's go!
In the race of life, quitters never reach the finish line. I'ma get what's mine, gonna do the time, cause I'm in my prime. My mind is my weapon, my mental toughness is dead on. I'm a sharpshooter, top hooper. I'm a champion. I'm a champion. I'm ruthless, I'm competitive. My drive's on fire, I'm so tentative. I dominate, call me executive. I'm a champion.